Hello, in this video I would like to discuss why and how I use hand planes in my work. Hand planes are an exceptional alternative to sanding in the preparation and finishing of wood. The environment is dust-free and quiet. Wood surfaces are smoother. Tactile feedback is gained. You can feel the wood surface through the hand plane. Figured grain can be readily tackled with the right hand plane. Hand planes have been a traditional method of preparing wood for centuries until the advent of machines. Machines are better suited to production environments. Hand planes range in size for different applications. Longer, heavier jointers are ideal for preparing wood and straightening surfaces and edges. Bevel up versions are also available in many of the sizes. For example, this is a number 7 jointer and is used to both prepare edges, to actually prepare them for gluing, and it can also be used on a surface on the face of the wood to even out any bumps and hollows. The length of the plane is ideal for that particular reason, so it overrides any bumps and hollows. So this would be a number 7. Next one down is a number 6 4-plane, which is shorter but can also be used as a jointer, and this is a bevel down version, but it's a little more versatile. I can use this as a jack plane or as a shorter jointer. And this is a number 6 bevel up jack plane, or between a jack and a 4-plane. So this is a bevel up version. The mechanism is simpler as a Norris adjuster, and many people prefer this version as opposed to bevel down. It's a lot simpler. So it doesn't have a cap iron attached to the actual blade, and that's the main difference, along with the simplicity. So you can actually interchange blades much quicker than with a bevel down version. So jack and 4 planes are somewhere in the middle. They're versatile and can be used to both prepare wood surfaces and to perform final smoothing. The most common of the hand planes is the smoother. They're available in narrow and wide widths, and smoothers excel at preparing wood for a finish. So this is my go-to smoother. It's a number 4.5. It's fairly heavy in mass, which is ideal for guiding it along the surface of a board. So the actual difference between a number 4, this is a record number 4, and this is a 4.5. The 4.5 is wider, and this is also it's a bedrock plane. So you can actually adjust the mouth a little easier, as opposed to a conventional Bailey plane. This is probably the plane that most people have. They're just struggle to get working right, but with a good adjustment, it does work. So you can be successful with this plane if you're strapped for financing. So I use both a number 4 and a number 4.5 smoother in my own work. These planes are readily available on my bench to tackle any final dimensioning and smoothing tasks. These are bevel down versions, both of these. Another series of planes are smaller block planes. Block planes excel at trimming and smoothing the end grain of wood. So block planes are typically available in 2 attack angles, 37.5 and 45 degrees. These are my 2 go-to block planes. I actually have 2 more, but this is the standard angle, 45 degree, and this is 37.5. So the difference, you can see in the profile, one is lower than the other. The difference is the actual bedding. This is a 20 degree bedding and a 25 degree blade, a bevel, and this is a 12.5 degree bedding with a 25 with the same blade. So this is lower. This more mimics a small smoother, and I typically use this as a small single-handed smoother, which is ideal so I can hold the board up while I'm smoothing. And this is preferable for end grain work because of its low angle. The incidence of tear out is minimized, and as long as you attack it from both sides. So there's a little technique to that. But these excel at end grain work. So I'll put these aside for now. So the 45 degree version can be used as a one-handed smoother for light work. Both of these block planes are readily available on my workbenches. I use them very often when preparing small furniture components. I also wanted to demonstrate how I use a stick of paraffin to lubricate the soles of planes. For example, this 4-plane, I would scribble a small amount of this paraffin wax on it to lubricate the sole. And what this does is it allows the plane to glide smoother along the surface of the wood. And it's a nice habit to get into, and these paraffin sticks last forever, so I've got quite a few of them, one at each bench at all times. It really minimizes the effort in gliding the plane along the surface. So it's again, it's fairly quick to scribble some wax on the sole of the plane, and it goes a long way. So working with hand planes can be extremely efficient and enjoyable as long as the blades are kept sharp. Now we'll get into sharpening a little bit. It's critical to maintain the keenness of the blade on all your hand planes. With a sharp blade, your effort is minimized. It's much more conducive to hand planing, and it doesn't take much to hone the blades between sharpening. Sharpening is a little longer undertaking, and it's only done once in a while. For example, if you nick the blade or something. But oftentimes all you need to do is hone the blade. So you remove the blade, hone it. I typically hone them every few days. It depends if I've used the hand plane or not. So again, the keenness is critical to the enjoyment of the hand plane and your success with it. A sharp blade makes a huge difference in the enjoyment derived from using hand planes. So again, the benefits of using hand planes are many. You get exercise, you don't generate dust, and instead you generate shavings. Noise level of your woodworking is quiet. I also wanted to talk about hand plane cabinets and hand plane racks. These are two hand plane cabinets I've built over the years. These are customized for my hand planes, but they're fairly simple to customize for any hand plane. They're low profile with the doors closed. I minimize the amount of dust and moisture which touches the surfaces of the metal, so there's less chance for rust, less incidence of rust. So during the day I'd probably keep them open while I'm working, and in the evenings when it's cooler in here, I close in my work in my furniture making studio, I close the doors. So each of these cubby holes are standardized for my particular plane. Some are a little more, some are custom, and some are standardized. So I can interchange some of the planes in different cubby holes. I also have another plane rack which I'll throw a small clip in, and it's a little more open. It doesn't have doors, so it's over another bench, and that's also interesting. So wood surfaces are infinitely smoother than if sandpaper had been used when using hand planes. Patience is important in the early stages until your use of hand planes has been mastered. This is critical. So it might be frustrating at first when you're first using hand planes, but once you've mastered it, you'll never go back to sandpaper. It's a much nicer surface, and you're not running sanders and ROS, random orbit sanders or anything to create dust. You don't need the vacuuming systems. It's quiet. I also wanted to mention that you don't necessarily have to purchase hand planes. You can make your own. The only thing you would have to purchase in this case is the actual irons. These are custom irons, Hawk irons, designed for hand planes. They're thicker than metal-bodied irons, because the support system is a little different in a wood-bodied hand plane. So these two smoothers go back 14 years. I used to actually make these and market them 14 years ago, and I've kept a few. So when I've stopped marketing them because they were fairly labor-intensive for whatever I was charging at the time, and very finicky to adjust, and most people haven't got the patience to adjust them. But once you do know how to adjust them, they're fantastic. They glide really well. They're self-lubricating, as I use a special tropical wood on the soles. This is a more conventional shape for a small, smoother hand plane, whereas this is my own design. It's an ergonomic shape one, and this was fairly successful at the time in selling these. And they have special exotic woods to adjust them and certain portions of the hand plane. So I designed these following James Kranoff's instructional information on wooden hand planes, because he uses hand planes, wooden-bodied hand planes exclusively in his own work. So at the time, this was a nice project for me, but I grew and grew and eventually became a product when I mastered how to make them. I have a few of these small wooden-bodied smoothers, as well as a wooden-bodied jack plane. I'll put these aside. As promised, here is a short clip of my other plane rack. This is a custom plane rack I created, and it's a little more traditional, and it sits over a bench here. And It's set at an angle, and I had to actually experiment with the angle and ensure that the planes wouldn't fall. So I use this, and it's fairly well designed for my specific hand planes. You can see my wood-bodied hand planes I've made, along with the number 7 jointer and a couple of other planes. So this works well. Hand planes are very quickly accessible, which is a huge benefit. So what I've also done is, for fear that the planes might fall, I've also installed small magnets. You can see a magnet there. So what the magnet does, it's covered, it's isolated from the blade, but it actually attaches to the blade, so you can feel that it's not going to fall on certain of the slot. The other slots, the actual weight of the plane is sufficient to keep it from falling. So that would be my other plane rack. And I haven't built any more plane racks, only because I don't have any more planes at the moment. I have sufficient, I think, for my lifetime. So thank you for watching.